Socom Elite. This is going to be the last knife I sharpen for the KME user. And I'll get his knives back in the mail. I'm going to start on my Gritomatic 240, 1K, 2.5K, and then I'll probably go to the Shapton Pro 5K, just like we did with the Strider. Now, in my experience, Microtech usually sharpens around 25 degrees, which is a pretty steep angle. So I'm actually going to mark this bevel because I'm not used to sharpening at that angle, just to make sure I'm hitting where I need to be. Also noticed on this knife, there's a pretty nasty burr right at the tip. I don't know what happened there. So I've got the edge marked with Sharpie. Let's see where this bevel's at. That is pretty much right on the money. So that's what we're going to go with. Like I said, it's usually a pretty steep angle. And Microtech usually does a little kick out down here. Instead of putting a sharpening notch, they'll do a little kick out to help you with sharpening the knife, but they didn't seem to do it on this model. I'll have to check my turquoise auto and see if it's got the kick out or if they did the same thing. Both this knife and that one are in 204P steel. This 240 stone just sucks up water and pisses it right back out. It's so porous. Got a burr everywhere except the very tip. There we go. So I've got a burr across the whole edge. I'll flip over and do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to remark this bevel just to make sure I'm where I need to be. Don't ever be scared to pull out a Sharpie marker. I use it all the time. It is very handy. To tell you if you're grinding where you need to be. Which I seem to be right on the money. Not sure how well it's going to show up for you guys. With these Gritomatic stones, you really don't want to apply pressure. Just let the knife and the stone work together, and they will produce a sharp edge. I can see right at the tip and then the belly, I still need some work. As I was saying though, these stones don't require much pressure. I can't say for certain, but I think that's where some guys are seeing these stones wear faster than what I see, because they're probably putting down more pressure than what I use. Kind of treat them almost like a diamond in terms of weight and pressure. So I've got a burr across the whole edge. Small 1000 grit silicon carbide from Gritomatic. Fill a burr. Just flipped it. I'm going to start lightening my pressure a whole lot. My 2500 grit silicon carbide. And this is going to be the final stone. It's my 5K Shapton Pro. Somebody tested Microtech steel recently. If you guys know what those numbers were on the HRC test, leave them below. I couldn't remember who did the testing, so I lost track of it. Now I can't remember who it was, and I can't look it up myself. But if any of you guys know off the top of your head, please tell me. From what I understood, they were saying that Microtech's HRC wasn't as high as it should be, or wasn't as high as they claimed, one or the other. I'm not sure exactly the whole gist of it all. I'm sure one of you guys know the whole story and can tell me. That's where we're going to call it. So to strop the Socom, I'm going to use I Heart Knives strop. I've got horse butt leather with 1 micron CBN emulsion and kangaroo leather with 0.5 micron CBN emulsion. This is kangaroo leather with 0.5 CBN emulsion. Really lightening my pressure up, just featherweight. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but I just can't seem to unlock the secrets of diamond or CBN. They continue to elude me. So now that I've got all the tape off of this and I'm really looking at it, I can see that tip is way off center, and I'll show you guys on the close-ups what I mean. Well, it's not too terribly bad, but it's definitely off center. So it looks like this side is a little bit larger than this side, and I just followed the factory grind. I should have probably looked at that from the start and corrected it. I didn't though, and I'm not going to go back and fix it because that just means more grinding. It's not going to affect performance. The knife's still sharp, still gonna cut, I say. Just keep in mind it's a pretty steep angle, so cutting performance is not gonna be, oh my god, sharp. So I'm not gonna mark any one particular spot to test. I'm just gonna test right in the middle of the knife. We'll do 3 cuts, average amount, 96. 143. And final test. 140. So the average comes out to 126. I'm happy with the sharpness. That would do everything I need a knife to do, and then some. Let me show you guys this tip. Hopefully you can see that. See how one side is off compared to the other. It's not a perfect triangle. The edge is off center at the tip, but again, it doesn't affect performance or anything like that. The knife will still cut and perform just fine. Just a teeny tiny little bevel. And of course, if you lay this edge back a little further, it's going to improve the cutting performance. It's going to make it a real nice slicer. The Socom Elites are usually pretty thin behind the edge. Well, I'd like to thank KME User for sending these knives to me and letting me have a crack at them. Like I said, I think he does his own sharpening, so he could probably improve upon all of my edges with his KME, if that is indeed what he uses. Freehanding, of course, is not an exact science. You can't get perfect bevels, but I think I do okay. Well guys, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Y'all have a good one.